Okay, if you're a chicken keeper, you know the number one pain in the neck, right? It's that ever-increasing cost of feed. It just chews through your budget and can honestly take some of the fun out of it. But what if I told you there's this almost secret plant that could pretty much solve that problem for free? Yeah, let's get into it.
So let's just get right to the heart of the matter. I mean, looking ahead to 2026, the cost of commercial feed is just going to keep climbing. We're talking another 10, maybe 15%, and that puts a huge strain on everybody, from the small homesteader to the person with just a few hens in the backyard.
I mean, really, who isn't? It feels like every time you go to the store to buy another bag, you're just watching your hard-earned cash walk right out the door. It's super frustrating, isn't it?
And this right here, this lays it all out perfectly. On one side, you've got the feed costs, which are not only going up, but the feed itself is often packed with cheap, low-quality fillers. And on the other side, well, that's your bottom line, just shrinking and shrinking every single month. It's a super simple, but yeah, painful equation. All right, enough doom and gloom about the problem. Let's get to the good stuff, the solution. And it's this awesome self-sufficiency hack that people have been using for centuries, but somehow hardly anyone talks about it anymore. I mean, really let that sink in for a second. Not cheaper, not, on sale. What if the answer to your single biggest expense was 100% free?
So what is it? Well, the answer is this amazing little plant called azolla. It's a tiny little fern that just floats on top of the water. And this isn't some newfangled discovery. It's a time-tested, absolute powerhouse of nutrition for animals.
So, what's the big deal about azolla? Why is it such a superfood for your flock? Well, for starters, the protein content, get this, it's a whopping 25 to 35% when you dry it out. But the real magic trick? Its growth rate. It literally doubles its own weight every 2 or 3 days. It's also jam-packed with vitamins, minerals, and those great omega-3s, which, by the way, leads to much richer, darker egg yolks. And the best part? Your chickens will go absolutely crazy for it. It's a total game changer.
Okay, that all sounds fantastic, right? But you're probably wondering, how do I actually do this? Let's get into the practical side of things, because you're gonna love this part. It is so much easier than you think.
And look at this. This just shows you how ridiculously simple the whole setup is. You don't need some big farm or a fancy pond. A cheap kiddie pool or a shallow plastic tub works perfectly. Just add some water, make sure it's not chlorinated, throw in a handful of good soil for nutrients, stick it in a spot with partial sun, and then just drop in a little starter batch of azolla. In a few days, it'll start taking off. And harvesting, you just skim it off the top with a net. That is literally it. So simple.
All right, so it's super easy to grow. We've established that. But let's talk about the real reason we're all here, right? The money, the savings. What does this actually mean for your wallet?
And oh boy, this is where the numbers get really exciting. Real-world studies and farmers who use it show that azolla can replace anywhere from half to even all of your commercial feed. We're showing a pretty achievable 75% here. We're not just talking about saving a few bucks here and there. This completely rewrites the economics of keeping chickens.
And to put that into real-world terms, that little kiddie pool we were just talking about, that one little tub can crank out 5 to 10 kilograms. That's like 11 to 22 pounds of fresh, high-protein feed every single week, all on its own.
Now, azolla is definitely the superstar here, no question. But hey, why stop there, right? Let's take a quick peek at a few other plants that can really round out your free feed system and make you even more independent.
Think of these other plants as azolla's awesome backup singers. You've got comfrey, which is amazing for pulling up minerals from deep in the soil. Duckweed is another one that grows like crazy on water. If you're in a warm spot, moringa tree leaves are a nutritional goldmine. And hey, don't sleep on sweet potato vines. Chickens love those greens. You mix a few of these in, and suddenly you have this incredibly diverse and bulletproof free feed system.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. This sounds way too good to be true. What's the catch? There's always a catch, right? Let's just tackle that question head on.
Well, the truth is, azolla it's ridiculously tough. What you might think of as problems are really just basic, simple maintenance. Keep the water from getting too gross, stay away from copper-based chemicals, and if you get hard freezes in the winter, just scoop a little bit into a bucket and bring it inside. It's honestly one of the most low-maintenance things you can possibly grow.
And this quote just nails it. This isn't some pie-in-the-sky idea or some complicated setup that only works on paper. This is practical, it's powerful, and it's a proven way to be genuinely more self-sufficient. Bottom line, it just works. So after all this, after seeing just how simple and crazy effective this system is, the only real question left is, what about you? Are you going to jump in with the superstar Azolla, or maybe give one of those other amazing plants a try? Seriously, your journey to a zero-cost feed bill, it can literally start today.